Hey everybody, it's Mac here, and we're going to work on exponents to a power version B. If you haven't seen A, please watch A because I go a little slower and I explain a little more. I also have a video on how to do this, and you can find all of that at maxtutorials.com. Okay, and there's lots of other videos there for math. I also love it if you guys can obviously subscribing helps me out, but also do some comments. Did it help you out? Is there something I could have done to help make this better? This is a resource for you. I want you guys to do well. Now, what we learned in version A, and again, watch that if you haven't seen, when we have a power to a power, we multiply them. So that becomes x to the negative 12. And just if I can take 1 minute, if this were x to the negative 4 times x to the 3, when we multiply, what do? We add the exponents, okay? But here, this is different because we're doing them to a power. This is a situation where we multiply, okay? Not that. Sorry, the spirit, not that one. Do not multiply those. You add those. You multiply these. All right, we'll go a little quicker now. A squared to the 6 is a to the 12. Y to the 7 squared, that's going to be y to the 14. C to the negative 5 squared is c to the negative 10. However, we don't want to write negative exponents, so we have to flip it to the bottom, and we need to put a 1 there as a placeholder to show that c to the 10 is going to be a denominator. All right? Boom. M to the 15. It's really just that simple. You're just multiplying. Boom. P to the negative 7. Oh, got to flip them. So 1 over p to the positive 7. All right, 7. This one we have to stop and really think about. If I have more than one thing inside of a parenthesis, you have to do it to both. This is going to become x to the 12, y to the negative 8. Okay? And then once we do that, the x to the 12 stays on top. But I have to flip that y to the bottom to keep them with positive exponents. Okay, let's go on to number 8. I'm going to square both of these. And that's going to give me an r to the 12 s squared. That's like a 1, right? Next one, I have to cube all 3 of them. So that's become a to the 6, b to the 15, c to the negative 3. But I can't have a negative 3 on top, so I'm going to go a to the 6, b to the 15 over c cubed. 10. Doink, doink. Okay, that's going to become t to the negative 8, u to the 12. That's a u. It looks like an a little bit. I don't like that. U. All right, so now the t has to flip to the bottom, so I'm going to get u to the 12 over t to the positive 8. Okay, just flipping down the negative exponents. Going up here to number 11, I have to square him, I have to square him. Remember, even on a fraction, everybody gets squared. So this becomes m to the 10 over n to the negative 4. Well, I've got to flip that up, so it's going to become m 10 n 4. Let's do the next one. Now watch this. There are 3 things in here that all 3 need to get the square. So it's going to become p to the negative 6, q to the 8 over r squared. The p needs to flip down because it's a negative exponent. We're going to get q over 8, elemental p, qr, p to the 6, r squared. Yes, I'm doing everything that I do in my head out loud, which sounds a little weird. I get it. But you know what? It sounds weird in your head too, because you do the same thing. You're just not doing it out loud like I am. Here we go. That's the kind of confidence I have. There we go. Now, all I did was multiply all the exponents, because it's an exponent to a power. Now I just have to flip the y to go down, x to the 6 over y cubed z to the 9th. Okay? Next one, I need to square that, I need to square that, I need to square that. I suggest you do those lines just like I did so you don't forget one. This is going to become a to the negative 4, b to the 12 over c to the 4th. Now, the a needs to flip down to the bottom, so the b to the 12 stays up. My a turns positive but flips down, c to the 4. Number 15, I need to square him, I need to square him, I need to square him. So I'm going to get u to the 10, because remember, exponent to a power, we multiply. V to the negative 6, W4. The V needs to go up on top. So I'm going to get u to the 10, V to the 6 over W to the 4. Let's go on to 16. I'm going to cube all three of these. D to the negative 12, e to the 6 over f cubed. So if you notice the d to the negative 12, that's the negative exponent. I need to flip it to the bottom. So I'm going to get e to the 6 over, and d comes first, and then the f. Okay? Going on to 17. I need to do all three of these to the 5th power, which is going to give me a g to the negative 5, h to the what? We're multiplying. That's going to become a 20 over k, what's 2 to the 5th? That's going to be 10. Okay? So now, the g to the negative 5 has to flip under. So I'm going to have h to the 20 on top. Now, a, b, c, f, g, h, i, j, k. Okay, so g is going to go first, and k is going to go next. Okay, because I had to flip the g down. Now, on this one, I have to square all three of them. So I do both of these on top, and I do the one on the bottom. If I have t cubed and I square it, I go t to the 6, u, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, all over it. And remember, I got to square the bottom too. That's v to the 8. Okay, so now the one that's in the wrong spot is a u. I can't have a negative, so I want to flip it to make it positive. So I'm going to go down here, TUV, so u is going to come first, and now I get to make it positive, and my v just stays down there. Okay, let's go on to number 19. Number 19, this is going to be, I got to do him, I got to do him, I got to do him. I'm going to get w to the negative 10, x to the 4, all over y to the 6. Okay, the w's on the wrong side, so I have to flip them to the bottom. w10, y6. And last one here, I'm going to square, boom, boom, and boom. And I'm going to get m to the 8, n to the negative 2, all over p to the 10th. Okay? And so I have my n with a negative exponent, so I don't want those. So I keep my m up here, LMNOP. So n is going to go to the bottom, and it's going to followed by the p. And there you go. All right, so that's a lot of work, guys. But if you understood that, then you really understand. Well, you understand a lot of things, but the big thing is you understand negative exponents for sure. But you also understand how an exponent to a power works. And that, my friends, is version B. If you feel great, move on. If you want a little more practice, I got one more video, and that's on version C. And I'll see you there, or I'll see you on the next one.